Hey guys, it's Rami here, and we need the phase 4 stimulus package with the second stimulus check to pass already, right? I mean, we all need more money given the current conditions. It's crazy what we're going through. Just hit the like button on the video if you agree. And in the midst of all this, as we try to figure out what kind of money we'll get and when, the House decides not to return to Washington and instead stay home while America goes broke. A great quote from a fellow YouTuber, Stephen Gardner. So they're basically saying they're non-essential. And while they're staying home and getting paid handsomely, this is what's happening in America. More than 30 million people applied for unemployment in the last 6 weeks alone. J.Crew declared bankruptcy, and I'm sure many more companies will follow. Besides what's happening now, brick and mortar stores have been suffering for a long time because of the huge move to e-commerce and online shopping, which given the current circumstances, more and more companies will focus more on online sales. But that's all besides the point. We all just want to know, when are we going to see the phase 4 stimulus package? When are we going to get the second stimulus check? It's great that the government wants to bail out states and cities, but the people need bailing out too. And by the way, bailing out states is not even guaranteed. Letting states go bankrupt would drive the economy even further down the drain for a very long time. You'd actually start seeing states laying off people, cutting spending on infrastructure. The suffering from all of this would be far worse than just bailing them out and stimulating the economy. I really like the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell. He's like the man right now, printing all this money, but he also said that the Congress reaction to the current situation is, quote, extraordinary, historically large reaction. And he also says, but I would say that it may well be the case that the economy will need more support from all of us if the recovery is going to be a robust one. I totally agree with him. We, the people, need more money and we need it now. Thanks for the $1,200 checks, but that's already spent and gone. People need a lot more than that. Like seriously, how far do they expect $1,200 to go, especially if you live in an expensive place like here in New York or in LA or San Francisco or one of these expensive places? $1,200 is not gonna do much anywhere anyway. But the problem is the people who actually have the power to help the economy and help the people are sitting and watching from the sidelines. I seriously can't believe the House representatives are just sitting at home. At least the Senate is back in session, but regardless of going back or not, it looks like the Democrats are on one side, the Republicans are on another side, and the White House is somewhere completely different. Mitch McConnell is already worried about spending too much. He's even arguing against the White House to spend on infrastructure. The Democrats are worrying about states and local governments. Then you have Trump's top economic advisor, Larry Kudlow, saying, there's kind of a pause period right now. We have put up $3 trillion of direct federal budget assistance in one way or another. The Federal Reserve has actually put in as much as $4 trillion to $6 trillion. So it's a huge package. Let's see how it is doing as we gradually reopen the economy. So yeah, he doesn't seem too eager to think about another bill right now. But here's the thing. We really do need another stimulus bill. As I said before, the $1,200 is already gone. Even the people who didn't even get it yet pretty much spent it in advance on basic necessities. So let me just get realistic about a possible new bill. I do believe that there has to be another one coming. The impact of the current conditions is like nothing we've ever seen before, and it's going to probably get worse and worse in the second quarter and third quarter, and probably a lot further than that. But if another stimulus package is going to pass, it has to be reasonable. And here is realistically which one is going to pass, if any, and why. I would have to think that the Emergency Money for the People Act would be the one for several reasons. But first, let me just say why the other big two are not it. The Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act just doesn't make that much sense. It covers everybody regardless of income or how much their mortgage or rent is. Why would the government help someone renting a mansion for, let's say, $50,000 or cover mortgage for millionaires and billionaires? Total waste of money. Also, what about the people who worked so hard and put a lot of their money over the years to pay off their mortgages early. They will not get any help from this bill, even though they may have lost their jobs due to the current economy. So this bill would definitely benefit some, but it will also unnecessarily help many more with a lot more money for no reason. The next one that also has the big problem of no limitations is the ABC Act. That's the one that offers a debit card with $2,000 on it for every single person in America, regardless of their age, their citizenship status, they have a social security number or not, and even visitors who are here for more than 3 months. I just can't wrap my head around how is this even an option or an idea. Anyway, then after that, you'll keep getting $2,000 per month, then it goes down to $1,000. The whole thing just doesn't make sense at all and will never ever pass. It will be what they say, dead on arrival. And on top of that, just look at who wrote those two bills, the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation and the ABC Act. Not taking any political sides here, but the fact is Republicans in the Senate and the president are not going to approve anything from those specific people who wrote those bills. You can look up to see who wrote them and why. So this leaves us with the one bill, the Emergency Money for the People Act. It's a very expensive bill, but at least it has limitations and somewhat similar to the $1,200 stimulus check that passed already. Yes, it's not a one-time payment, it's a monthly payment, but at least it still has limitations. And just so you know, it's the only bill that had 18 Democratic co-sponsors when it was introduced in mid-April, and it already picked up an additional 10 co-sponsors. Yes, all Democratic, but it's the only bill that's gaining any sort of traction right now. So let me just quickly remind you of some of the details of this bill. If you're 16 years or older and make less than $130,000 annually, you would receive at least $2,000 per month. Then married couples earning less than $260,000 would receive at least $4,000 per month. So these limitations are almost double those of the CARES Act $1,200 checks. For single people, it goes up from $75,000 to now $130,000, and for married couples filing jointly, it goes up from $150,000 to $260,000. So this is great and will cover a lot more people. On top of that, qualifying families with children will receive an additional $500 per child for up to 3 children. So a married couple making under $260,000 with 3 kids would receive $5,500 per month. Plus, people who had no earnings or were unemployed or are currently unemployed would also be eligible. And those who were not eligible in 2019 or 2018 but would be eligible in 2020 could submit at least 2 consecutive months of paychecks to verify income eligibility. And finally, the Emergency Money for the People Act expands the program to a lot more people who were excluded from the CARES Act. So now college students and adults with disabilities who are still claimed as dependent will be covered. This is a big problem that affected many people in the last $1,200 check, where adults who were claimed as dependents didn't receive anything and the person claiming them didn't get anything for them also because they were older than the 17 years old limit. And this bill is projected to last for 6 months and potentially 12 months depending on unemployment ratios and stuff like that that I won't get into in this video. I already covered it in another video and I don't want to bore you with all these details. But yes, if there's a bill to pass, it would be this one. At least I would think so. But I would think it will come with more limitations. Maybe on the amount itself, something less than $2,000 per month. Also, they can limit the duration. Instead of starting with 6 months, maybe start with 2 or 3 months and reassess later. Also, the age. I don't think anyone who is 16 years needs $2,000 a month. Maybe push that age a little bit higher. These are just my thoughts, and I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments below. Which bill you like more, which one you think will pass, if any. And since we're on the topic of free money, I'll leave links in the description where you'll get 1 free stock just for opening a Robinhood investment account, and another link where you'll get 2 free stocks with Webull investing app, with one of them potentially worth up to $1,400 when you open an account and deposit only $100. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you found it useful. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button on the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.